Hey everybody, welcome back to the Armed Scotsman. Today on the table we have Sig P365 AXG Legion. Let's get this one going. Dang nice. All right, everybody, as I said, this is the P365 AXG Legion. We're gonna go ahead and review this. I am down at Ready Gunner again today to do some more filming, hence the change of scenery. So if you hear any shooting in the background, that's what that is, do not worry. All right, let's take a nice close look up at this Legion. Let's just start at the bottom here. This is actually a Legion base plate. It comes with their 17 round mags. It comes with the gun. These are aluminum, these are nice base plates. And an awesome capacity of 17 rounds. There's a lot of capacity in this gun, down there. It does come with this magwell already attached, which is very nice for easier insertion of the magazines. One thing I did notice, it's not like super flush. You do have like slight ledges here, which I thought was interesting. Hasn't affected the functionality of putting the gun in there, but the magazine in there, but I just thought that was really interesting that it wasn't super flush. Now, if you're going to be carrying this gun, it does make it a little wider, so you may want to take the screw out here and take off this magwell, but I really like it, and so obviously it's on there. But moving on up, you do have these G10 grips with these awesome Legion logo right there. These the G10 grips are very nice, got some very nice texturing on there for a very positive grip. You can change these out as well, because you can see here, you can just take these out, and I'm sure people are already making, like, these have been out for just a little bit, but I'm sure people are making grips that you can switch out already. But I really like the aesthetic look of these and how they actually feel too, so I wouldn't change these out. Personally, you do have some checkering on the front right here, as you can see, checkering on the back. And then you do have a little bit of more checkering underneath the trigger guard here also, very nice. Moving up, you do have a nice trigger undercut right here, which you can get a very nice grip of this gun. I have medium-sized hands, and this gun, it fits like a glove. It's, as I say, it's crazy. It's got a 17-round capacity, but it feels like my, it's just for an example, my Glock 19. This feels so much nicer. Now I know Glock 19s have a very interesting grip, but this it's slimmer and it's bigger capacity, and I can get a better grip on here. So I really like how this grip and grip angle feels. Moving on up, you do have a very nice mag release right here with some nice serrations on there. It's pretty large. Doesn't sit out very far, but it's very easy to manipulate because, as I say, this grip does feel a lot smaller in my hand, and so I don't have to break my grip to do that mag release with my medium-sized hands. Does have a nice beaver tail right here. The trigger, like most of the P365 lineup, is very interesting. So you have this flat face trigger, a little bit of take up. So it feels like you're at the wall, a little bit more, and it's just kind of gritty. It's not a particularly great break feeling, it's just that typical P365 trigger, as you can imagine. This one feels a little better than that though, but it's still, that's what it feels like. You got a little bit of let out for your reset. Now that's very nice. It's very tactile. It's very crisp and clean. I do like that a lot, but it does have that standard kind of weird SIG trigger in there. Don't really notice it when you're shooting, but I just thought something we should obviously point out. All right, let's go over the trigger pull weight. Came in at just under 5 pounds. Let's try that one more time. And just shy of 5 pounds again. So it looks like it's just approximately a 5 pound trigger. Now this again is a worn-in gun, so the trigger might be a little heavier when you first buy it yourself. As I say, this gun has been shot quite a bit, but it does have a decent trigger in there. It's not too light, especially if you're concealed carry. Okay, so let's talk about the lower. The actual lower is aluminum, so this is an all metal gun, which I like the feel of these. They are very nice. I like metal frame guns, preferably over preferably over polymer guns, but that's just a personal preference. But it does make it a little heavier for carrying if that's something you're thinking about doing. So that might not be the most comfortable to carry all day. It's about, I think, 4 or 5 ounces heavier than a standard, like the macro that they have, just because of this frame. Moving along to the front here, you do have a standard 1913 pick rail, which is awesome. It's not the kind of the proprietary one like they did on the P365 original. So I do like that they've went away from that, and so we can attach whatever lights, lasers that we need to use. So good on them. Moving up to the slide, you do have obviously some front and back serrations. The serrations are pretty aggressive. You can get a nice grip on there, very nice indeed. Moving to the top, let's go to the sights first. It does come with Sig X-ray sights. Now this is a range gun, so it is well used. There's a lot of carbon buildup on that front sight, but it does come with the standard Sig X-ray sights, so they're very nice. You do have some serrations on the back for anti-glare. You've got some tritium in the back here, and that high-vis green on the front here, so they are excellent. Big fan of those. There does come optics cut for the RMSC cut. You can take, obviously, I put other plates in here and put what you need, but this will fit Sig optics and some other optics that have that same footprint. You could probably buy plates to put in there if you need to switch that out, I would imagine. Moving along to the front, this is where the magic happens. This is your comp, obviously right here, and what that does is, if you're not aware of these comps, when the bullet comes out, there's gases following it, and then the gases come out of this port here, reducing that muzzle rise. All right, I did forget to talk about this. This is your slide lock slide release right here. So it's pretty flush in there, but it's still very easy to manipulate to lock that slide back and to let it go. And this is your takedown lever. We'll go over that in just a second. All right, and then the last thing to point out at the top here, this is actually a loaded round indicator. Obviously, we are not loaded, so you can't see it, but typically, you know, if you have a round in here, you'll see the brass or steel casing, whatever you're using, through that little cutout right there. So another really nice little feature. All right, let's go ahead and take this down and show you the internal. So you're just gonna pull the slide back, lock it back in place, and this is your takedown lever. You're just like original P365, push that down, and then just let your slide go and slide that off. Inside, everything looks great. And again, this gun has been shot a lot, and the fit and finish still looks really, really good. Obviously, it is dirty because we've been shooting it, and other people have been shooting it, but overall, it still looks excellent. All right, let's go ahead and take the slide down. So you can take out your captured guide rod and spring right here. This is a metal. So it is a little heavier, and then you come to your barrel. To take this out, it's a little difficult because it feels like it's not going to come out. It feels like it's kind of stuck. The barrel here is getting stuck on the extractor, so what you need to do is pull this back and just give it a little love to push it back. Let's see if we can do this, and then pull your barrel out. It's kind of a pain, it's kind of in the way, but so if it feels like it's getting stuck, that's what it is. Again, this gun is absolutely filthy from shooting. Tiny little barrel, 3.1 inches. It is a micro tiny barrel. So the barrel ends up sitting to about here, actually about here, and then you've obviously got your comp on the end there. All right, and one of the other things that makes this gun modular is it has a fire control unit inside, which a lot of guns are a removable fire control unit, which a lot of gun manufacturers seem to be doing today. You'll see a cutout in the frame right here is actually the serialized part, which is attached to that fire control unit inside, and it's held in just by essentially this pin right here. So you take the slide off, pop the pin out, and you should be able to just take that fire control unit out and switch it to a different chassis if you wish. All right, let's go ahead and show you kind of a size comparison to give you an idea on the size of this gun, especially if you plan on carrying it. So this is an original P365. It is the 380, but it's still the same size as the 9mm. So if you put it on there, you're going to notice, obviously, it is a lot longer, but you obviously get 17 round capacity, which is very, very nice. Make sure I'm back here in solid. And now this is actually about the same length, exact same length, if not the exact same length, as the P365. Obviously, you just have the chamber on the end here for your comp, so that's why that is a little longer. I do have this is my carry gun. This is my Glock 43X, which holds 15 rounds. You can see here, it's just a smidge longer considering you're getting 2 extra capacity. I don't know what Sig does with their magic here, but they do get an extra 2 rounds in there, so very nice. And even with the comp on there, It's just a smidge longer. It is probably a smidge wider, maybe, but overall, it's not that much bigger than a 43X. People have said this is very similar to a Glock 19X, a Glock 19, but I don't have my 19 with me to do that side by side. But overall, it is obviously a larger concealed carry gun, but still very doable. So let's talk about shooting the gun. It's a pleasure to shoot. That comp really, as I said, does help mitigate that recoil. 300 rounds or so through it, no problems whatsoever. Really, really, really nice gun. People will say, is this the best P365, you know, like out there with the videos I've reviewed? You know, if I had to compare it to the other P365s, it's very, very good for deep concealment, not as good as the original P365, but an overall, just the overall gun is fantastic. It's a super nice gun to shoot. Again, I really love, preferably, I really like metal frame guns, so I'm a big fan of this. The weight, the balance feels excellent. Yeah, it's a lot to really love on this gun. So, but let's talk about price. At the time of posting this video, you're gonna be looking at about $1,200. Is it worth it? That's always up to you, because you're talking, it's, you know, twice, 2.5 times as expensive as a regular P365, or you can pick up like a Glock 43X for about $400, $450 without, you know, the MOS. So is it worth it to you? That's up to you. Overall quality of this gun is excellent. No, you're definitely getting your money's worth, in my opinion. Yeah, another great home run for the P365 lineup. Happy days. All right, folks, questions, comments, ask them below. Happy to help out wherever I can. And that's it. Until next time, folks, we'll catch you later.